we are airborne, and it's your most educative program live on Ghana's #1 online radio, PenyRadio. We say hope for the hopeless. And a belated happy birthday to me, your most adorable and humble host, Victor Nyetle. I'm here once again to do this with
Ashiagba Ruth.
And then and as always, we'll give you nothing but the best. So we are zooming straight into today's segment, the first segment being our grammatical expressions. And for today's first segment, all the three things we have there are words and not phrases. We do not have even one phrase in there. We have three words to look at today. So can you give us the three words, Ruth?
Okay. We have plumpy.
Plumpy.
Yeah.
And the second one?
Borrow.
Borrow. And the last one?
Criteria.
Criteria. These and many others, kindly stay tuned. So as usual, we're going to delve deeper by taking some sentences under the word plumpy. Plumpy spelled P-L-U-M-P-Y. Plumpy. So Vicentia, what is the first sentence under the word plumpy? Let's hear you.
So, the girl has plumpy cheeks.
The girl has plumpy cheeks. This is actually incorrect.
Why?
Let me take the correct one from Ruth, then I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Or maybe Ruth will tell us why. So let's go.
The correct one is
yes.
The girl has plump cheeks.
Plump cheeks without
yes,
Y.
Please. Yes,
the
please.
Plump.
Yeah.
Okay. So why? Why should it be so?
Because the word plumpy is not an English word.
It doesn't exist in English language.
Yes, please.
This is interesting. So viewers and listeners out there, we've been informed duly that the word plumpy does not exist in the English language. So we move straight into the second one being borrow. 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 And maybe we have to remind our viewers to ensure that they follow us on all our social media handles and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at PenyGh. PenyGh. On all social media handles, just key in the word PenyGh. Penny spelled P-E-N-Y. This is the only penny with one N. P-E-N-Y. PenyGh. And you would be served with our page. Kindly like it, follow us, and then subscribe to our YouTube channel also, so that you would have all our programs at your pleasure. So let's move to the second word under the first segment. We have borrow. Borrow. So Vicentia, again, take the first sentence under borrow for us.
So, can you borrow me 500 Ghana cedis?
Can you borrow me 500 Ghana cedis? This is actually incorrect.
Why?
Let's take the correct one. Then Ruth will tell us why.
Okay.
Probably.
The correct one is, can you lend me 500 Ghana cedis?
Okay, so let me tell you why. Instead of can you borrow, she said, can you lend me? Now, this is the trick. When you collect something from someone, with a promise to return it later, you are borrowing it and that person is lending it to you. So the one giving you the thing is lending it to you. The one receiving is borrowing it. Do you get it?
Yes.
So the receiver is the borrower and then the giver is the lender. So borrow and lend are two different things we must know of. Okay. So this is how far we can go with the second word under our first segment. We shall return shortly with the last word, criteria. Please stay tuned. Again, do not forget to follow us on all our social media handles at PenyGh and subscribe to our YouTube channel at PenyGh. And also, do not forget to keep your comments coming in. Keep your comments coming in. you might have questions, just shoot us a message and we would attend to it. Okay, so let's go to the very last word under this segment. We have criteria. Ruth, kindly take the first sentence under criteria.
Okay. What is the criteria for the selection?
What is the criteria for the selection? Is incorrect. It's incorrect. What is the criteria for the selection? Is incorrect. Vicentia, kindly give us the correct sentence under this.
What are the criteria for the selection?
What are the criteria for the selection? So instead of using S, she's instead of using is, she used are. So instead of using is, she used are. But there is another sentence under this. Can you take it for us?
Yes. Okay. What is the criterion for the
What
selection?
is the criterion for the selection? This is the reason. Criteria is the plural form of criterion. So to say what is the criteria is like saying who are the boy? Who are the boy instead of who is the boy. So to say what is the criteria violate grammatical concord, or what we all know as subject-verb agreement. Wow, this is interesting. This is what Grammar Check exists to do, to inform, to educate, and to, in fact, entertain you. This is how we can go with the first segment. We will return shortly with our error buster being our second segment. Please stay tuned. Welcome back from the short break. We are in with our second segment being your favorites, the error buster. So what word? The first word for today's error buster is spelled
THIRSTY.
good. So most often I hear people say testy, testy, testy. What should it be?
Thirsty.
Thirsty, thirsty. What is the meaning of thirsty?
Okay, giving one a need to drink.
Giving one a need to drink. Do we have any example to that effect?
Yes, please.
Can you take it for us?
After all that work, I am really thirsty.
Thirsty. Okay. Then the second word under R, error buster.
We have T
Mhm.
A
Mhm.
S T Y.
And most often, people also mention that as testy.
Yeah.
Testy. What should we know?
It should be tasty.
Tasty, tasty, tasty. And tasty there means what?
Something delicious or sumptuous.
Or sumptuous. Sumptuous. Interesting. Thank you so much for the education. Do you have any example to that effect?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you take it for us?
You could make this tasty meal for breakfast.
You could make this tasty meal for breakfast. Wow. Thank you so much, Ruth. At this time, Vicentia can only look on as she hopes to pick up the next time. This is the first time on the proper grammar check. The last time was an interactive session, so she wasn't exposed to these things, and we hope that next time, God willing, she would also be involved when it comes to the error buster. Thank you so much for the hard work. Continue to educate, entertain, and inform our cherished viewers and listeners. We shall return with the penultimate round being our idiomatic expression. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to our penultimate round, being the penultimate segment. The
Idiomatic.
please shortly, let me clear my throat. Sorry about that. To our penultimate round, we have the idiomatic expression. That's our penultimate segment, the idiomatic expression. And today we have an interesting one. The back of beyond. The back of beyond. It sounds like an irony or a paradox. The back of beyond. You know, beyond is ahead, and back is
It's right.
behind.
Yeah.
So the back of beyond, that seems like an irony or a paradox. Okay. So paradoxically speaking, or ironically speaking, we have the back of beyond. Ruth, what is the meaning of the back of beyond?
It means rural area.
Or
Village of hinterland.
can you speak into the microphone?
Village of hinterland.
Village or hinterland. So the back of beyond is a village, a rural area, or the hinterland. So when someone says you are coming from the back of beyond, the person is simply saying you are coming from the rural area or the village or the hinterland. Let me take the first example so that you can take the second one, Vicentia. Okay, Ruth, you give us the first example. Then Vicentia takes the second example.
Okay. I don't even know if she's from the back of beyond.
Interesting. Let's take yours.
Rita is from the back of Beyond.
Thank you so much. So we'll return shortly with the final segment. Please stay tuned. So let's ginger ourselves in the studio. Say, Jeje, Jeje. It's interesting. We are live. We know, yeah. We just try to enliven the atmosphere. We are left with our very final segment, the figure of speech. The figure of speech. And for today's figure of speech, we have eulogize. 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 What is the meaning of eulogize? Vicentia.
To highly praise.
To highly praise or to praise highly. This is what? Inversion.
Yeah.
We looked at it the last time.
Yes.
Inversion. So to highly praise or to praise
Highly.
highly. So the man was eulogized for his good works. The man was eulogized for his good works. Vicentia and Ruth were eulogized for their hard work. This is how far we can go with today's edition of your most educative program, live on Ghana's #1 online radio, PenyRadio. We say hope.
For the hopeless.
Thank you so much. So we continue to remind our viewers and listeners out there to stay safe, take very good care of yourselves. The security situation in the country isn't the best, but I believe we are responsible for our own security. Make sure your nose mask is on. The reason we don't have it on in the studio is because the distance is quite encouraging, and then we've tested ourselves and we know that we are negative for COVID-19, so we are very careful about that. But you, our viewers out there, ensure that you are in your nose mask. You find yourself in the crowd, use the hand sanitizers, alcohol-based hand sanitizers regularly, and ensure that if you can, you vaccinate in order to be protected against the deadly disease. So, until we come your way, okay, maybe some final words from Ruth and Vicentia. Ruth first.
Okay, I want to give shout outs to Bra Victor, Sister Winifred, Sister Justina, Sister Esther, my mom, my friends, yeah, everybody.
Students of Nima Presby Preparatory School. Thank you. And then you?
Shout out to Bra Victor, Star Justina, Star Winifred, Star Esther, my mom and my dad.
Your dad. Last week, your dad did us a very wonderful job. He shared the link to over 250 people. Yes, and then he also ensured that people living abroad, also had a fair share of our program. They really applauded us for the good work, and we hope that it continues. So Vicentia and Ruth are in their final year, and we wish them all the very best. I'm sure most people will be interested in their English result as well as other core subjects. God richly bless us all. So until we come your way next week, God willing, I am yours truly, Victor Yetle, here with
Ruth Ashiagbo
and
Vicentia Aguzi.
goodbye.